So what does 10-1 indicate?
The 10-1 energy is all about the
Is this audible to everyone?
Yes, yes.
manifestation of God. It's about unity, power, and stability. This frequency in somebody's chart would show me that they are a service soul. They take so much joy and pleasure from helping others, even with nothing in return. Also, this energy is very much a healing energy. So, because it's such high vibrational beings, typically they make excellent natural healers. They're very healing to somebody, whether you're into spirituality or not. Being next to somebody feels so comforting and healing for them, or maybe just sharing some advice or just listening to them. Also, because it's such a high vibrational frequency, actually the highest within all of the 22 different frequencies, what happens is these people tend to kind of feel a little bit like outcasts or misfits in society. Because they're of such high vibration, it's kind of hard for them to feel like they fit in. This frequency in your chart would also show me that perhaps you have a father wound. Maybe you were just disempowered by whether it was a father, a grandfather, or some important male in your life. If I were to find this frequency in a female's chart, it would show me that perhaps you very much sit in your masculine. You're the doer, you are the leader in a relationship and in your life. Where if I were to see this frequency in a male, I would think that they're very much in touch with their feminine. Because this is such a high frequency energy and you are a service soul, there is so much of God energy that wants to push through you every time you help somebody, every time you assist someone, every time you put yourself out there, whether it's in the spiritual nature or not. So it's very, very healing and loving to other people. If you do have this energy in your chart, be sure to look at the videos where it shows it in different.
Okay. So we will take one more interpretation from one more gentleman.
The one frequency is all about unity, power, and stability. It is associated with Pluto, which is somebody who can be a philanthropist, someone who is
The other person is Sebastian, who does a deeper drill down. He segregates them into the positive qualities and negative qualities, right? And he explains from that perspective. So let us go into that. Okay. Soul contract numbers, full explanation. This is 45 videos. Yes.
Okay, so here we have the 1.
So we are talking about
10-1.
So that way he will start 22 and then 1, 1, 2, 2. So 10-1.
10-1. So the genius talents of the 10-1.
I think before we get to that, doing 1 separately and 10 separately will be useful.
Okay, so here we have the 1. And on the resistance side of things, we've got abandonment, self-serving, no backbone, and conniving. Woo! Quite the lineup here. So let's talk about this a bit. On the resistance side, it's ultimately being unstable internally, which then creates instability in the external realm. So people with the 1s are constantly searching for stability. And when they're in the resistance of that pattern, it's like all of these things happen to pull the rug out from underneath them. So that could be in business, that could be in relationships. That's times when it seems like things are solid, then boom, the rug is pulled out and the person's scrambling to put back together their foundation. And the reason why that is because the person who's in the resistance pattern of the 1 isn't picking up the signs when people are unstable themselves. So they'll go ahead and go into business or have relationships or depend on people that are unstable themselves, and they'll miss the signs. When really along the way, they're giving them signs that, hey, don't put all your eggs into this basket, essentially. And that also goes into the next piece, which is, conniving. So it's like willing to bend the rules, break the rules, misuse power to get ahead, and being very self-serving. And that this all feeds into that abandonment, because it ends up creating their worst fear. And so if you can imagine, if someone doesn't want to be abandoned, they want what's on the genius talent side, which is stability, then they don't understand the warning signs, and they don't understand the warning signs because they themselves aren't stable internally. So then they end up doing, and in addition to that, since they're not ever stable, it's the number one thing that they want, they're oftentimes very self-serving, very focused on themselves, because they can never get the one thing that they want. And so if they're very self-serving, then naturally they tend to attract other people who are very self-serving. And that's where the lack of integrity comes into play. So you can see how this is a vicious cycle of just feeds into things. And ultimately, since their internal world isn't stable, they don't have a strong backbone, essentially. And then that's why their external world and business isn't strong either. And so on the flip side, the genius talent here is actually to become what the person has always wanted, which is stable. They want external stability. Stability in finance, stability in business, stability in path. Well, that all comes from the inner stability first. And that's why the integrity is so key here, because the stability is actually created from the internal within. And that internal stability is from integrity, honoring commitments, honoring a person's word, doing what you say and saying what you do. It creates a more secure internal framework, which then naturally, common sense says that it creates external results. Because who's more dependable? The person that does what they say and says what they do and is focused on doing the right thing? Who's that person, or the person who's, they're just out for themselves, and, if push comes to shove and they have an opportunity to get ahead by, not taking care of somebody else, and they're going to do it, and they don't really stand for anything or any morals, stand strong anyway, and they're jaded about people. They can't trust people because they've always been abandoned. Like, who are you going to trust? That first person or that second person? And that's really the energy to connect here with the one is, okay, first of all, stability comes from within, because the unfortunate truth is that there is no stability in the external realm. No matter how much money a person has, no matter how great their business is, no matter how great their health is, the unfortunate fact, and also it can be the very scary fact, is that anything and everything in the external realm can be taken from us in an instant. And people don't like to think about it, and I get it. It's not a pleasant thing to think about, but it's an important awareness to build stability, is that, you know what, there's been times where people had tons and tons of money and they looked absolutely secure and safe, and then the Great Depression came. There's people who, unfortunately were solid in their health all the time, and then just a freak accident happened and it left them paralyzed. These are tough things, but it's also true. And the more we realize that, the more we realize, okay, Well, yes, I'm going to go ahead and do everything I can in my power to set up a stable and strong world for myself, take care of business, make sure that the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. It's very important. And be liberated from this notion that it's going to solve all my problems, because the inner stability of the one is knowing that there's nothing stable in the external world, nothing permanently stable. And our only true stability is our relationship inside when shit hits the fan.
Now,
And this is
what is the relevance of all this for our life? Anybody? Let's discuss that rather than listening, because listening we can also do privately. Because there is an app through which we can get the chart, and we can definitely spend time on that. That's not important. What is the relevance of all these parameters or aspects?
We need to be true to ourselves and, to be confident and true to our inner self, isn't it?
No, see, more than that, right? For all of us in the spiritual path, it is very important that we lead a life that is aligned to our purpose of life. Now, what is the purpose of life? We have come into the spiritual path, which means we have to deliver service for the benefit of society, for the benefit of the universe. And right, like we do in our meditations and all, we should release the ego, surrender, ask forgiveness and all that. So, this is giving us the limits of what are our inhibiting factors. What are the lessons that we have to learn? And should we be controlled? If I take thinking and destiny, should you be under the control of your body mind, or should you control the body mind? Right? Because you are a multi-layered organelle, I should say. Right? You are a collection of 150 trillion cells. That's what Dr. Bruce Lipton keeps on telling. Every cell in your body has got a wisdom. That wisdom, if it is in the righteous path, then you will be hale, hearty, and healthy. If it is not, then you have got avenues of how to rectify that problem within you. For example, in spiritual tablets, we have seen a number of cases, interestingly, where somebody who goes on hoarding, let us say property, money and all, and doesn't believe in serving, which means he is receiving a lot, he is not reciprocating. Right? He will have an emotional balance, which is going to potentially land up as pain on the shoulder. That's a very interesting paradigm, because you are taking more, you are not giving, you are not in the chart of responsibility, you are not balancing. There is an imbalance, right? It could be shoulder pain, or right, wherever that area of responsibility comes into your life, where you are not balancing, it is going to manifest as a challenge. That challenge, do you want to retain it as a challenge and suffer, or right, understand what are those lessons that you have chosen as you start aligning and proceeding towards those goals? Service is one of the important component of those goals. As you start delivering that, you will find that medicine or no medicine, you will start healing yourself. Right? So first step is the detoxification of the body that we do through meditation. Right? In the second layer, you are deviating from your purpose of life. When you deviate from your purpose of life, it is going to cause a problem. Right? First of all, strengthening yourself. When you are vibrating below your fundamental frequency, lowered frequency is an indication that your ego mind is controlling you rather than your spiritual mind controlling you. Are you all with me? As you start going deeper into this analysis, identifying yourself, you will start feeling, you will start understanding where we can correct ourselves. So this becomes a sort of a map of our life and how we should conduct ourselves. Okay. The reason I am not going through this is it is a collective waste of so many people and their time. If we just listen to this, right? So what we will do is we will take this pertaining to our corresponding charts. Let us try to decipher it on our own, and we will discuss one or two important points where we think it is making sense and where it is not making sense. That is my suggestion. Is that fair?
So I have one question. So through this, we will come to know our life purpose, or in general,
Yes.
it is the okay.
No. See, this is a high-level indication. Let us say a 200,000 feet view of what is the plan with which we have come to this birth.
Earth planet. Okay.
Okay. Now you have your free will,
Yeah.
right?
We
You
can
may
change
take it in that direction or you may take it elsewhere. If the change is not deviating from the purpose of life, fine.
Okay. Got it.
Right? That means your goals, right, which is a combination of, if you have these three talents, not only have you to progress spiritually. When you progress spiritually, you should be taking some people along with you.
Yes.
When
That
you
is the
take
serving.
those people along with you, that is the service. Because
Yes.
they will collectively orient towards a universal progress.
Yes.
That too, in today's world, from the other books, what I am understanding is the rate at which things are changing for the better is phenomenal. Right? When that is happening, if you don't orient yourself towards it, you are going to end up into some sort of a challenge. So, this is what is the overall theme. Actually, why I am trying to curtail this listening is it is just it is something which we will listen and forget. Rather than that, when we start applying it to ourselves, we will come out with questions.
Yeah.
That will be important to discuss. Are we all okay with that approach?
हाँ सर ऐसे ही चलते हैं. We'll go like this.
Yeah. Otherwise, we will be wasting collective time.
No, very true, sir.
And, right. So what I would recommend is, instead of doing this, we can continue with that. We started that other book also, right? The Light Body.
No, you have shared, but we have not started.
We didn't. I was not there.
No, we
No,
have
the
not
reason
started.
I'm
We were
asking is
doing-
that is very meaningful for all of us.
सर अभी
Yeah,
एक
we
साथ
did
हम लोग
not
ना
start.
एक साथ हम लोगों का 3 बुक हो जाएगा. अभी सोल डिकोड कर रहे हैं, उससे पहले थिंकिंग कर रहे थे,
No.
बीच में हम
Soul decode, as far as from a high level perspective, इसका जो inputs लेना था वो तो हमें मिल गया है.
ओके.
Okay.
Country.
Why light body is light body का जब आप पढ़ोगे, it is a direct reflection of the chapter that we are reading in Thinking and Destiny.
Yeah, it's
ठीक है
fine
सर.
with me.
ठीक ठीक.
And that explains how this body is formed. Or do you want to go back to Thinking and Destiny? I am fine with any of those.
No, no, we'll take light body because it does connect to thinking destiny. It's a kind of a see,
Connects very
uh,
well is my take.
right? And you see, I'll also have something say about what we just discussed. You see, it's like the resistance of this, like your left hand and the right hand, right?
Yeah.
The resistance that you talk about is, let us say, on the left hand. They integrate the other part of it on the right hand. So it's a question of how you move off from this to this. And this is not this is what it says. If you want a particular purpose in life, all you have to do is step out from where you are here, or maybe you are not still here. If you're not here, it's good. If you are here, you step out from here to here, the right hand. That is what it tells you. So you look at your numbers, and from where you are on the left hand, you move to the right hand. Now, with this, you talk about now we are in a body. You are talking about basically spiritual and mental issues from left to the right. Now your body connects this and led to thinking and destiny. This is what I link all the three of them together.
Yeah. So if I open this, okay. So this book has been shared. What is a light body?
Yeah.
Right? We did one or two chapters. That's what I
I
remember.
think we did. I think we did. I
नहीं
did
नहीं
on my own.
नहीं
Or
नहीं
we
सर
did
हमने
together, I don't know.
नहीं सर हमने
We
एक
did
दो
it on a day
पैराग्राफ
when
ही.
some of you were not there. Most of you were
Maybe
not there.
I remember having talked about it.
No,
Right.
no,
I
sir. We
remember
have done it.
I read it
Otherwise, this
myself.
highlighting would not have come.
नहीं
Right.
सर एक दो पैराग्राफ पढ़ा था. आपने ही बताया कि दिस बुक लेट मी जस्ट ओपन दिस बुक, मैं आपको समझाता हूँ क्या चीज है. एक दो पैराग्राफ या एक पेज पढ़ा था. आफ्टर दैट यू जस्ट वांटेड टू कनेक्ट समथिंग टू समथिंग. दैट्स द रीजन यू हैव ओपनड दैट बुक.
Correct. Right. So, now basically, right, what does this talk about? It talks about us as multi-layered bodies. Okay. There, in Thinking and Destiny, we were focused on the destiny part alone, which has got a physical destiny, which has got a psychic destiny, a mental destiny,
Noted.
and a noetic destiny. And how the atmospheres influence our body. This is going deeper than that. What he is saying is, right, we have got 12 structured layers. We have got 12 layers, right? Does he have any illustration or he doesn't? And we are light bodies. That means our basic property is from the light.
Frequency.
Our body can derive its food, its sustenance, everything from the light itself. And that is what noetic destiny also is talking about. Are you with me?
यस यस यस. तो इसको शुरू से शुरू करें या कैसे करना है सर?
शुरू से भी कर सकते हैं या जो इंपॉर्टेंट है वहां से करते हैं. ठीक है. So basically what he is talking about a light body is that, okay, we will read from this para. When you have a process, yahan se, that is the beginning. Basically, from the definition itself. चलिए, मैम आप पढ़ेंगे? Pala ma'am?
Sure. Yeah. What is light body? All techniques and processes in this book are for spiritual light integration. This is not medical advice. If you are experiencing any of the symptoms mentioned, please see your doctor. As you probably know, this planet is in a state of ascension. Its frequency is rising at a very rapid rate and it is losing its density. Matter, as you know, and as you know it from the third dimension, is densification of light. That densification is beginning to drop off, and the vibratory rate of each and every one of you, as well as the entire planet, is rising, as well as the entire planet is rising. It is a pretty exciting process. When you have a process.
One important point there, as you are
Yeah.
rising, right?
Yeah.
If we go back historically, we had Vasundhara Chakra before the Mooladhara Chakra.
That is the earth connection.
Correct. And that Vasundhara Chakra ran up to about 2 to 4 feet into the Mother Earth. Right. But then that was the origin. But today, Mooladhara was the second chakra, the root chakra. But today, because of the ascension, Mooladhara over the years has moved and it has merged with this one. Like that, he is talking about the 12 layers in which you exist. Right? Somewhere I think I have a slide also that I had picked up from some other book. So this is 6th and above is what this picture is capturing. Right? Okay. Now, where is that other one? There was one more I should be having in this. चला गया क्या कहीं और हो गया लगता है नहीं वो इसमें नहीं है और कहीं चला गया है Sorry, I think I'm just wasting time. So basically there are 12 dimensions and we exist in all those 12 dimensions. Just keep that in mind. And what he's saying is that densification is beginning to drop off. That density, that physical density is slowly reducing. That means we are becoming lighter bodies.
Yeah. When you have a process of densification, such as that occurring in your universe, you reach a point when it is gone to maximum separation from the purest forms of light. So when you reach a point when it is gone to maximum,
each layer is one structure that is increasing the separation between the source and us.
Yeah, from the purest forms to the light of light.
Correct.
So it is, yeah. So at that point of maximum separation, a shift occurs and the planet begins to reverse its process and start on what we would term a homeward route, that is back to one point.
So that means it is going back.
It becomes
Yeah.
one.
Retracing its steps. Yeah.
There are 7 to 8 million light workers on the planet at this point, what some have called planetary transition teams. Each one of you is a light worker. You are here with special purposes, special skills, and special delights. Many of
Interestingly,
you,
these three matches with the spiritual karma, spiritual talent, spiritual goal. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go ahead.
Many of you are specialists in assisting planets in ascension, having done it thousands and thousands of times. Oh, they are very
Which means
experienced.
that is the services that we have to deliver in return to our taking birth in this universe. Very interesting,
also,
right?
Yeah, and also experienced, yeah.
Correct.
Each time that a planet ascends, it is a unique process, the process of reunification. And the joy of reunification is expressed differently depending on how the game was played. This game was one of the greatest possible separation from spirit you could have. This game was one of the greatest possible separation from spirit you could have. It was very successful. So what is this, the game of the separation?
The game
of
is
the
the process, basically. That process
okay.
and the joy that is in a game.
Okay, got it. Yeah. But the game as you know it is now changing. So the game of on the earth ascension process is changing.
No,
that's what
between the spirit, that separation,
Yeah.
the game of separation is undergoing a change.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it began its process of change officially in March 1988. Okay, this process began
That is
in
around the
1988.
time when Patriji also started taking up the
Yes.
responsibility of bringing in the changes, I think.
Yes, in 1990, yeah, I heard he started this
Yeah.
PSSM. At that point, that what we call activation to a first level light body occurred for most light workers. So at that point, the activation to first level light body occurred to most light workers. That was like a little bell going off in your DNA structure that said, Yahoo, time to go home. And it began the process of mutation and change. While this is very joyful most of the time, sometimes it can be a little difficult, but it is a process that all of you have gone through before. Okay, can we go down one? Yeah. What makes the game interesting is the question, how should I do it this time? What energies, emotions, and delight will I express in this path of reunification? What we call the in-breath and the out-breath of the source has occurred many, many times. And in this particular in-breath, we will have its own unique expression and delight as this planet and all other planets return to the one point. That is one consciousness, isn't it?
Yes.
No, it's singularity, not one.
Oh,
It's called singularity.
Okay.
The oneness, the universal
One.
oneness as we understand. Yeah.
Okay. This planet is in a state of transition to light or a process of ascension. It is a gradual process. You are not matter one day and light the next day. Everyone is in this process, and many of you are at least halfway. The dimensions. First, let me briefly describe the various dimensions or planes of existence in our model. We use a 12-dimensional model and you. We use a 12-dimensional model and you sitting here
and you sitting.
And you sitting
Sitting
here in a physical body exists in the third dimension.
Okay, we use a 12-dimensional model and you sitting here in a physical body exists in the third dimension. Got it? Yeah,
it's a matter-based. It is, see, here everything is matter.
Yes.
Which is what we learned there also. Is that as you go through the transition, anything that has to be in the physical body is a combination of these four elements and the frequency changes.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So the fourth dimension is what is called the astral plane. It is basically emotionally based. So that is the fourth dimension. Isn't it the same emotional body? It's also called or
No, it
astral
is the
plane. Okay.
astral body.
No, it's
Astral
astral body.
body.
Okay. It is basically emotionally based. Together,
That
these
means,
two make
no, see, that emotional body, as we were discussing in that book, right, in Thinking and Destiny, that was
Yes.
basically the sort of a hinge. Whatever the mental body puts the weight, that fellow will bend and give it to the physical body. And whatever is the response the physical body is giving, that he will transmit to the mind, so that the mental atmosphere is disturbed.
Mm.
And that disturbance is the one that is blocking the light.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Let's proceed.
Together, these two make up what we call the lower creation world.
Correct.
These are the dimensions where the game of separation is carried out because
So
of
it is
the mind.
between the, that means it is the first three dimensions. And the fourth dimension also is part of this.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yes.
Correct, correct.
These are the only dimensions in which the illusion of good and evil can be maintained and in which you can feel separated from spirit and from each other.
So let us stop here for a minute. Basically, what he is talking about is the principles of duality
Yes, yes,
is applicable from the emotional to the physical body, which is from the astral dimension and below. And in Autobiography of a Yogi also, when he is recreating and explaining Yukteswar Giri, right, when he is explaining to Paramahamsa Yogananda, right, he explains, he recreates the body when this man is in the hotel in Bombay, right?
hotel. Yes,
Right?
yes,
So he explains, in the astral one, there are so many layers,
yes,
right? And people will take a long time to transcend the astral world.
yes. But from one plane to the other. Yeah,
Correct,
yeah.
correct. So he is saying that difference and the maximum separation, this is where we will feel.
And that's how
That's
we
correct.
are separation. Yeah, separation occurred.
Correct,
And yeah,
correct.
you have all become quite good at doing that by the separation game, isn't it?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah, it has been a very successful game of separation, but now it is time for it to end. So this planet is in a state of ascension and it is currently vibrating at the lower levels of the astral plane. As part of the ascension process, all of the dimensions will be rolled up into the higher dimensions and will cease to exist. So all of
That
this
separation will cease to exist.
Yeah.
As
So
we
he's
move.
saying,
Yeah.
yeah.
And this is
So
what Patriji also in his explanations he has been saying.
Yes. Everybody is going up and up. Yeah. In high.
Correct.
Because the planet is now vibrating at the level of the mid-astral plane, it is beginning to feel like a dream state for many of you. Okay. You are never quite sure if you are awake or asleep. Continuities are breaking down. There is the feeling that the things can change as you hold them in your hand. The pen that you are writing with may become a hammer, and eventually this lack of continuity will no longer bother you. Just as it doesn't when you are dreaming. So there is no
Basically,
equally lack of continuity.
We will rise above these.
Yeah, during this time he says that we feel the lack of continuity.
Correct.
So you will be noticing that your dream states are changing, that as you wake up, you are not quite sure if you are awake. you will become lucid while you are dreaming, fully conscious in that state. You will be fully self-aware as you move back and forth between different realities, and all of them will feel equally real to you. It won't seem like there is only one true reality anymore. Wow.
No,
So
this is what happens, no? That Janakas and
Jagrat
Makarachari.
and
Yeah.
the states,
No,
the
he
states of,
asks, no, ye such, ya wo such.
yeah,
That story, yeah. Right.
yes, the different states of wakefulness and the dream and
So
deep
we
state.
have
Yeah.
talked up to the fourth dimension. That is the lower end of creation. Okay. Now let's go into the next stage.
The fifth through the ninth dimensions make up the mid-creation realm in the model that we use. The fifth is the light body dimension, in which you are aware of yourself as a master and a multidimensional being. Oh, okay. In the fifth,
Now this is
okay.
becoming, from the fifth dimension, you are becoming the triune selves, the mid layer of the triune self.
So controlling the
So we
desires.
can interpret it that
balance.
way also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That is why, he says you can, you can feel the multidimensional being. Isn't it?
Yes.
But he says a master and a multidimensional being. Okay. In the fifth dimension.
No, yourself as a master. You are aware.
Yeah.
That means
That's what.
you are actually now aware that you are more not a nature element, but you are a triune element. You are
Yeah.
conscious of yourself and what you are capable of, both.
Not
Not the
confused anymore.
function. Pardon?
Before. No.
No, it's not a case of confusion. If you know me, you are right now, even as you read Thinking Destiny and
Yeah.
you meditate, etc., you are
Yeah.
becoming more aware of the fact that you are the triune person and not the
Correct.
individuals. This is what it says. So you're becoming more and more conscious of the fact.
Yeah.
that
See,
you are
that's
more
what,
into that
in
present.
my view, initially when I read the book, when we read the book, I was confused. What is this multi-dimension? I didn't quite get it. But now, the more and more, over the time, now I understand,
We are
what
hammering the same sentence again and again. So our awareness is thereby increasing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The fifth is the light body dimension, in which you are aware of yourself as the master and a multidimensional being. In the fifth dimension, you are completely spiritually oriented. Many of you have come many of you have come in from this plane to be light workers here. Okay. That's why they have started this light workers TV, PMC.
Yeah.
The sixth dimension holds the templates for the DNA patterns of all types of species creation, including humankind. Oh, okay. The sixth dimension holds the template for the DNA pattern of all types of species. So all types of species, in the sense, animals or plants and everything.
Everything is included in us. That's what he is also explaining.
Yeah. Okay. It is also where the light languages are stored, and it is made up of mostly of color and tone. Wow. Okay. That's what in Japan, what is his name? He went and he gives the DNA transformation. Forgot the name of him. Indian, from Bangalore. I forgot. Yeah. Okay. It is the dimension where consciousness creates through thought, and one of the places where you work during sleep. Let me go. It is the dimension in that sixth dimension, isn't it? Is this in this sixth dimension where consciousness creates through thought, and one of the places where you work during the sleep. Okay, during sleep.
Basically, you are thinking even while sleep, and you are creating.
While sleep, yeah. It can be difficult to get a bed. Sorry, it can be difficult to get a bead on this, because you are not in a body unless you choose to create one. Oh, okay. Because you are not in a body unless you choose to create one. This is interesting.
That is the sixth dimension. Say your causal, you are now getting into that state in the causal realm wherein you want to create a body, you don't want to create a body.
Astral plane.
Correct. No, causal plane.
Causal
Sixth
plane. Okay,
dimension.
beyond. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When you are operating sixth dimensionally, you are more of an alive thought. You create through your consciousness, but you don't necessarily have a vehicle for that consciousness. Okay,
So
first
you don't
one I
have a
got it.
body. Effectively, you don't have a body there.
Oh, okay, that's what he's saying. You don't have
That is
necessarily have a
the vehicle, no?
Oh, yeah. Okay, got it. You don't have a vehicle for that consciousness. Got it. So in that sixth dimension.
Correct.
Very interesting. The seventh dimension is that of pure creativity, pure light, pure tone, pure geometry, and pure expression. Oh, in that seventh dimension, we have a pure creativity, pure light, pure tone, pure geometry, and pure expression. It is a plane of
Now, here, when
Mhm.
he talks about pure geometry and pure expression, I am reminded pure geometry, I think he is referring to even the sacred geometry here.
Oh yeah, of course. Yes. Oh, by
Because
the way, I got
that
the
is
name
what
of.
is your relationship to the Merkaba.
Oh yeah, correct. And also pyramids.
Correct.
Yeah, I got the name Ray Chandran. He is the one he was
Ray
talking.
Chandran, okay, yeah.
Ray Chandran. Yeah.
He is an expert on the 12-strand DNA.
Yes. It is a plane of infinite refinement, and it is the last plane where you perceive of yourself as individual. Wow. In this the seventh dimension.
That is the seventh dimension.
So the eighth is the dimension of group mind or group soul, and is where you would touch base with the vaster part of who you are. It is characterized by loss of sense of the I. The I-ness is gone. Identity
You
is
have
gone.
become a triune self there. You are now past the test. From thinking and destiny perspective, you are going into the realm of permanence.
The
The
eighth
seventh dimension is the transition towards the triune self.
Correct.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's the transition stage. Yes.
That's the
That's why it is infinite refinement. He's saying. Okay.
Correct.
When you travel multidimensionally, this is the plane where you would have the most trouble keeping your consciousness together, because you are pure we operating with group souls. So there is no I, always we.
No. That is also part of the test. See, what we learn as test in the realm of permanence.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
This is the test. Are you we? Are you I? Is
With the
feeling
group
and
soul.
desire taking you towards I, or are you retaining that balance? Yeah.
So it might seem as though you have gone to sleep or blanked out. So in that state.
That is the eighth dimension.
Eighth dimension. In the model that we use, the ninth dimension is the plane of the collective consciousness of planets, stars, star systems, galaxies, and dimensions. Okay, in the model of that we use, the ninth dimension is the plane of the collective consciousness of planets, star systems, galaxies, and dimensions. If you visit this dimension, it can be difficult to remain conscious. Once again, it is very difficult to get a sense of I, because you are so vast that everything is you. Imagine being the consciousness of galaxy. Every life form, every star, every planet, and group mind of every species in it is within you. Oh my God. This is one becoming one conscious.
This is what when we say in astrophysics, when the supernova, the result of all these particles, including us, our test is a result of the explosion of supernova. And so that is
go ahead.
Good. So when you say this, so as part of it, you are part of that. You realize that you are it is you. When the supernova bursts and it creates all these different things, it is you, and you are conscious of that fact. at that point in time.
So microcosm and macrocosm becomes one.
There's no micro. Yeah, no, it is. The microcosm comes out to the macrocosm and the supernova bus, and see that is you. And if you look at from the astrophysics, when they look at more and more of particles, dark energy, dark matter, so they're still getting confused. And that is because you are part of that. Now, see, you need
Yeah.
a meta language. If you want to see something, you have to be separate. But no, they can't see it because you are part of it. You're trying to look at something of which you are yourself part. That's what this is all.
Oh, wow. Very interesting. The 10th through 12th dimensions, the 10th through 12th dimensions make up the upper creation realm. So from 10 to 12th
The realm
dimension.
of intelligence. This can be included to be the realm of intelligence.
Yeah. It make up the upper creation realm. The 10th is the source of the race, home of what are called the Elohim. Is it Elohim? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where new plans of creation are designed and then sent into the mid-creation levels. You can have a sense of I at this level, but it won't be at all what you are used to at the third dimension. At the third dimension. The 11th dimension is that of preformed light, the point before creation and a state of exquisite expectancy, just like the moment before a sneeze or an orgasm. Okay. Oh my God. It is the realm of the being known as the Metatron, and of archangels and other akashic for this source system. Let me read again. I'm confused. It is the realm of the being known as Metatron and of archangels and other akashics for this source system. So this is the place where they reside. The Metatron and archangels and
not reside, source.
Source.
This is the source where the design of everything new is going to be put into creation.
Okay, got it. Yeah. There are planetary akashic records and galactic.
नहीं समझा नहीं मतलब क्या हुआ सर?
नहीं 10th में क्या कर रहा है? 10th में यहाँ पे डिजाइन करने के लिए प्लान बना के नीचे दे देगा
जी.
The new plans of creation design.
ठीक है. अब वो नया डायमेंशन बनाने के लिए 11th डायमेंशन में ये प्रीफॉर्म्ड लाइट है. मतलब this is the one that will feed that.
In a sense, you can say this is the beginning of what you call the Big Bang theory, or in the Hiddat of Quran, it says there is a black hole where Allah lights a lamp. That light, and that is when everything glows. This is probably
the process of lighting.
Yes, in fact, it clearly says in the Hiddat, it clearly says there's just darkness, a hole or a cave, and Allah switches on a light, puts on a candle, it says, and the whole thing then light.
So do you think this is now the 11th dimension is where the source lies? Is that
This is the indication of source moving towards the next level of creation, transitory phase.
From the light of intelligence.
Correct.
So in physical matter, can we simple words say?
There is nothing physical after the third dimension, fourth dimension.
No, energy gets converted into matter.
वो बहुत नीचे है सर.
We are much beyond.
He is making designs, plans for creation in the 10th
You are only
dimension.
making plans. Everything is in the thought level.
Yes.
No, 10th it is making plans. So in 9th it should be executed as conversion to the.
No. Sir, actual execution has got a multiple processes. Each dimension में एक वो उधर जाके वो कौन सा गैलेक्सी में जाएगा, 9th में जाएगा.
Yeah, okay.
तो बोलता है ना, देखिए, the 8th dimension is a group. यहाँ तक अभी वो प्लान का फाइनलाइज नहीं हुआ है. प्लान यहाँ पे बना के हाई लेवल 200,000 फीट व्यू सर.
No, we are going in upwards, right?
That
Yeah.
means you are
Eighth and
becoming
ninth is
vaster and
matter
vaster
period.
सर. है ना, आपका डिसिपेशन ज्यादा होते जा रहा है ना, वाइडर एंड वाइडर.
True. Anyway,
No, I can understand. Let me see what I understand from
see,
this is like this.
it is the reverse order we are going. We are going from matter to energy. So
Yes,
in
correct.
terms of energy, where the plans are made, but energy is not expended yet. Energy is
Got it.
converted in ninth and downwards.
Correct. There is no conversion. This is all the thought
This happened.
level. थॉट लेवल में क्लैरिटी ला रहे हैं यहाँ पर.
Yeah. Thought level.
Yeah. थॉट लेवल.
I don't know if I can look at it, if you really agree with the fact that the universe itself, it starts maybe with a big bang or whatever and goes on. It's a question of universe is expanding, right? At the higher end, it's more accelerating. The concept of steady state universe is gone now. So as it expands, and then it collapses, right? And then it
Shrinks
goes
back.
up and
It
up,
doesn't
right?
collapse, it shrinks back gradually.
What do you mean collapses? That's all. Okay, whatever
Yeah.
you call it.
Yeah. So it,
So this limit, it's the 11th dimension where from here it has come down now as a light, pure light, and now it start creating again. The 11th dimension where it's
सर यहाँ पर वैसे
the next
सोचेंगे
cycle.
कि but is
The
that
next
the
cycle.
next, is
Next
it the
cycle,
next
yes.
cycle, or
Yes.
this is the segregation into multiple source systems?
No. That's what happens when you next cycle means what? Segregation. What you say is correct. The supernova, the universe creates the different galaxies, the
Correct.
different dimensions. Yes, that's what it means.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't this in philosophy? It is called Hiranyagarbha. The starting point, isn't it?
That see, Hiranyagarbha is one of the see
no.
in
One of
in
the
the
galaxies.
Yeah.
yes, in the
Oh, one of
Upanishads,
them.
Hiranyagarbha is just one of them. There are different
Oh, I
versions of
see.
it. Okay, yeah.
Okay, got it.
So I think this is well represented by a lotus where each of the petal starts with very narrow and expands gradually and then goes up into a small point and then starts once again contracting. Once it reaches the uppermost point, it just falls off. The whole cycle begins again at the root.
Correct.
I think the concept of our goddesses
Possible.
and gods in the lotus is that, I think, because they are
No,
above
that is
this
what he is
time
breaking
limitation.
down. No, I think that is
Yeah.
what he is trying to indicate. See, it is a culminating point effectively.
At some point, it just ends. That's it. So a new
Correct.
petal would represent a new form of living, which we cannot even conceive in thought.
No, you will not be able to. That's what he is also saying, right?
And-
There are
That's right.
planetary Akashic records, galactic Akashics, as well as the Akashic for the
Of the
entire source
entire
system.
sources. Yeah.
That's why I think all the Hindu gods are placed in that lotus form, which are not
Possible.
part of the lotus. They are above that.
Possible.
Possible.
Mm.
Particularly Lakshmi, Saraswati, and Ganapati. Whereas Vishnu and Shiva are not even part of this. They are above this.
They are
So
above
that's
this.
probably where we go into the 12th dimension.
No,
Only
probably
two sources.
beyond. We'll know that.
Yeah, only two sources there. That is just static and dynamic. That's all. The interaction between the static and dynamic gives rise to some
Creates
kind
the
of
world.
energy.
Yeah,
Some kind of
creates.
energy. That energy is gradually converted into all types of
And
radiation.
he is only giving us example of one of the source systems.
Right.
And others, the entire experience itself will be a different one, he is saying.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah,
There
I'm
are
just relating it to Hindu pictures that we see.
Correct.
Mhm. There are planetary Akashic records and galactic Akashics, as well as the Akashics for the entire solar system. You are in one source system of many. Oh, you are in one source system of many.
Right.
So we are giving you a description of only one source system, this
Right.
one. So, oh my God, this is only one source system is giving. If you go to another source system, what you will experience will be different. As an archangel, my home base is the 11th dimension. Wow. The 12th dimension is the one point where all consciousness knows itself to be utterly one with all that is. There is no separation of any kind. If you tap into this level, you know yourself to be completely one with all that is, with all that is with the creator force. If you tap in there, you will never be the same again, because you cannot sustain the same degree of separation if you have experienced complete unity.
So all this is part of the test also.
Mm.
Yeah.
It is also part of the realm of permanence and above.
Yeah, that is just a
Wow.
static force, that's all. There is no
Correct.
movement, there is no light, there is nothing that comes out of it.
These are all the environments. He has now only spoken about the environments. He has not spoken about the body and its existence there.
No, that's what the next one starts with.
But
Yeah.
here he says 12, but according to our Purana, there are 7 lokas, isn't it?
No. It is
Well,
multiples of
lokas are
7.
different.
No,
Lokas,
7 urdhva lokas and 7
Yeah.
adho-lokas.
Yeah, I agree.
So there are
Urdhva
14
lokas.
lokas total we are talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Actually, dimensions
15.
are not just 7 plus 7. It is actually much more.
Oh, okay.
Okay, in this model to explain the light world, he has taken 12.
12 dimensions.
Yeah. Okay. Your bodies. So in the old world, you have a physical body, and most people's
Do you want to
reaction to
stop
that.
or continue?
I think it's 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock. Let us stop.
Yeah. So
Because,
we can start continuing reading the bodies,
Yeah,
and once we are done with the bodies, we will go into thinking and destiny.
right.
Then
Okay.
it will be a perfect understanding.
Match.
yeah. Very good.
Okay.
So here,
Thank
even
you.
if you look at the physical formations, or even in geology and other things, what you really see is that the globe has started totally with gas.
Correct.
Even sun today
No.
Yes.
Gas
has
is
got
what
matter
we
in
are
it.
able to perceive. It has started much before, but we are taking the cutoff
Right.
because
That
for us to
at least
understand, we are taking it saying that it is started with gas.
Only
Because-
manifested portions we are seeing.
because
Yeah.
Correct.
because it's already matter there.
Yes.
Correct.
However small the material may be, but it's already gone into a matter stage. It's not pure energy, even at sun's level.
Yeah.
You're right.
But slowly, what is happening is that he is dissipating. Gradually, he is losing his attractive power. So is the question, the Earth's rotation speed is coming down. So
But
once
there are
Earth's
other
rotation,
parameters in terms of matching the creation plan that you are doing at the 12th dimension and 11th dimension, and
No,
handing
gradually, it
the
is-
next part is taking place in line with that plan.
no,
Wow.
gradually it is forecasted that Earth would go and merge with Sun, and Sun declines in about 4,000 billion years. Sun will not exist after 4,000 billion years.
That's
So
what
the
is the
time
essence that
concepts
he
are
is
different.
talking about, right?
So
Yeah,
that
right.
see that is
That's-
true of all stars.
That's
See, as
right.
they burn their helium, now sun, see there is what is called as Chandrasekhar constant. Okay. It's 1.4 times the size of the sun. If it is higher than that, as it collapses, the red dwarf becomes into a white giant. Now in the case, and then a neutron star. In the case of when it's like sun, it's below the dimension of the sun, it collapses into a purely red dwarf, and then it
Vanished.
doesn't become neutron star. Yes, it doesn't become neutron star. It can get absorbed by the black hole of the galaxy, may or may
Right.
not.
Right.
Okay,
So that
that's what
becomes
it.
again one unit.
Yes,
There
absolutely.
is no
But if
separation.
you
There is no
if you
consciousness as
if
different.
no, if you really look at it, like you said, rightly, energy. See, if you this is what is very speculative about, because scientists themselves, as they are part of this, it's very difficult. If you are part of it, you can't find out what it is.
Right.
That's why.
Yeah.
So, if you look at it, the whole what is called time space, there's a constant, which I would call the Shiva Tandav, is a constant collision between matter and antimatter. Antimatter was is talked about by Feynman only in 1970s, and people laughed at him because he was that kind of crude person. They didn't accept it. So now there's a constant collision with matter and antimatter, which dissipates. And therefore, it all creates what is called as dark energy in the thing, because you don't know what is constantly. That I would call it as Shiva Tandavam, the dance of the cosmic. And that energy is subsequently released into gases and then matter and then all the galaxies. It's very, very fascinating, because even scientists have not been able to discover beyond anything.
Yeah,
Though the
because
But I
it's
think
beyond the capability
that
of
discovery
understanding.
they will be able to do only now, because now quantum physics is gaining importance. Till
no,
now,
this merge, quantum physics and astrophysics are now merging. But let me stress it, ultimately the only answer to it is spirituality, spiritual
Correct.
science, our
Correct.
way of thinking, not these physical sciences.
See, even now, recently, the one who got the last year the Nobel Prize, they said everything is illusion. They accepted.
That is Hawkins. Stephen Hawkins said
Yeah.
it could be illusion, but yeah, but still they are looking at it. But how do you explain that illusion itself? Illusion itself needs some kind of a model to look at. So what is that?
Like,
What is
like
that
you
illusion?
said, when you are in it, it is very difficult to
Yeah,
explain.
exactly. That is what is that. You are part of it, so you can't.
When you are part of it, it's very
You don't
difficult.
have a exactly.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
Nice
Okay.
discussion. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Right then.